Hey everybody, PKO Gamer here in a third video of the day, and we're going to talk about the PlayStation 5. Get some more gaming news, talking about the future. The future is coming. The next PlayStation is confirmed for holiday 2020, and it is the PS5, PlayStation 5. Sony has never went away from PlayStation, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and PlayStation 5. Simple, it works. PlayStation 4 is a runaway success. They are the kings of this last generation, or this generation right now. They have sold over 100 million units. They kicked Xbox One and Microsoft's ass, and it is a great console. I have all three consoles. I have all three of the main consoles, and I have this gaming computer here. The PS4 is a fantastic unit. And there's a lot of information coming out, and I want to talk about some of this and go through this article on IGN quickly. And I'm not going to lament on this constantly because there's a lot of stuff to go through, and I don't care about all of it. There's a couple things that I think is kind of cool and it's kind of interesting. It makes me wonder what's going to happen. So they talked about this with Mark Cerny, of course, about the next gen PlayStation, and they talked about the hardware. The hardware is going to be, where is it at here? Specs. It's going to be the AMD Ryzen line, third generation with 8 cores of 7 nanometer Zen 2 microarchitecture. It's going to be based on, have a custom Navi based GPU with ray tracing. Ray tracing is, the newest way that the graphics can be rendered, and I haven't even got into it yet because you know what? I don't care about graphics. Don't always make a game. That's a fantastic game. Simple, cute little graphics. It's a fantastic game. I'm not going to get into an argument about that. I'm just going to say graphics are great. Ray tracing is coming. Let's see. Interesting part is optical drives will use 100 gigabit disc and play 4K Blu-ray. So physical is staying around this generation, and I can guarantee you the Xbox Scarlet, or whatever it's going to really be called at the end, is going to keep physical. So as physical people right here, we're going to keep that. But the biggest piece of information so far is this SSD, solid state drive. Based on Sony's description, he has a raw bandwidth higher than any SSD available for PCs. Of course, PCs will outclass it. That's the way technology always marches forward. SSD, of course, available on desktops, laptop computers, can even use external for PS4, etc., etc. Load times, Sony has demonstrated the same load on a dev kit. 15-second load on PS4 Pro was 0.8 seconds. Here's the thing that I'm going to let you guys read with me and think about this. Sony did highlight that the load time speeds are not only the benefit of the SSD. It can reportedly render worlds at a quicker pace and allow for quicker movement in game. Makes sense. It also allows developers to stop using tricks designed for mechanical hard drives, such as having multiple versions of the same data. Hard drives and optical discs. I'm going to grab this Borderlands game here, which I was talking about Borderlands earlier in another video. This is a optical disc. Duh, I know you said it, but it really is based off old record technology. Well, a hard drive has a bunch of metallic platters stacked up with little read-write seek arms that go back and forth. You have seek delay, rotational delay, and I think there's another one. I can't remember some of my early computer science courses, but there's a lot of delays. And if the ARM is in here reading a bunch of data, but you have to go get that world data that's over here, that seek arm is going to have to do this. It's going to have to come over here. I'm going to blow this up real quick. If some of the data is inside here and it's spinning and it needs this data and it goes over here, you have delay. So the data is here and also here, so multiple spots on a mechanical hard drive like they're showing right here. So with SSD, they can get rid of this. Now, here is my big question. If games have this ability, probably due to the SDK, all the other things in the PS5, to stop using these tricks, what if you install the game on an external hard drive? 1, will it work? 2, is it even supported? And 3, will the performance be so bad that literally the games lag out, crash, or just perform so badly that it needs to be installed the SSD internal? Here's things that I'm wondering, is some games going to be like, it needs to run on the internal drives? Sure, I bet you the PS5 is going to allow you to pop in an external USB 3 or USB-C hard drive, and move shit tons of games over. You're probably going to be able to just dump all your shit on a hard drive, plug it into PS5 because it's fully backwards compatible with the PS4, and move stuff in. My thoughts is this makes me wonder if the SSD advantages are not just going to be used like I have an SSD in this machine right here, and I got two other hard drives. I got a solid state 300 gig for my operating system, which I keep very little stuff on it. I have 2 terabyte hybrid drive, which is basically a 7200 RPM drive with an 8 gigabyte SSD as a cache. Makes it a lot faster, but not an SSD level. And then I have another one that came with the computer when Cyrus sent me this, and it stores my PKO gamer shit. Just the videos, like I'm recording with OBS now, some of the renders I put out, and all my images. I still also take some of that and back it up. So what will happen when these games that use these tricks or stop using tricks for these mechanical hard drives and don't use those, and they don't, if you install the game on the external drive, will it support it? Is there going to be a difference? I know some people are like, oh, it will make a difference, but the game is betting on this super fast SSD internally, and it can't, and it has to go and wait for those read-write arms, seek delay, rotational delay. You could see games stutter and almost crash, or the performance go down to crap. That can't happen. This made my eyes go, really? It keeps going, such as having multiple, which in turn will save on install sizes. So install sizes will go down. Games will also be designed to install in segments, so you can uninstall the game campaign as part of the game once you completed it. Here's this. What if a developer doesn't want to do this? Is Sony going to regulate this? Are they going to require this? So these two things, the 100 gigabit discs are really cool. Even more than 4K Blu-ray. 100 gigabit discs are interesting, but this information right here makes me wonder how much that SSD is going to be relied upon, and will games have to run on the internal SSD? Can they run on external? Or will the game developers support this? They'll be like, fuck you, Sony. We programmed it over on the computer. It's one whole chunk. It's going to come over here. Tough shit. That's going to be one of those things that, Sony may say it can be done, but is a developer going to use it? I know somebody says, well, developers can push back. PS5 will also support 8K gaming, blah, blah, blah. The controller is going to have adaptive L2 and R2 triggers now have adaptive resistance. It's going to be programmed by developers. There's no improvements, though. Rumble has been replaced with haptic feedback, etc., etc. There's more stuff with backwards compatibility. PS4, PS5, PSVR. The PS2 or PS4 VR is compatible. PS5 services. I'm not going to get into all this. Basically, there's a lot of buzzwords going around about the PS5. It's going to be powerful. Duh. It's the next gen console from Sony. So is the Scarlett. It's going to run probably Ryzen. This core is going to be almost exactly used inside the Scarlett. The cores or the APUs used in the Xbox One and PS4 were nearly identical, just not exactly identical in the way the PS4 used the GDDR5 RAM across, and then there was a DDR3 with some other, I blanked on the RAM. There's a MMC. Somebody correct me, the different type of RAM that the Xbox One used, and then they got rid of it in the One X. So they're going to be nearly identical, because more likely they're going to just be used similarly in both of them, and then, good old AMD is going to be able to make stuff probably just slightly different for both of them and be able to crank them out in mass. Ray tracing, lots of power, lots of this. I'm just wondering how much this power is going to really affect games, or are we going to see a true battle between Microsoft and Sony this time? I think we are. I think Microsoft fell over their bootstrings last time, basically landed in a pile of dog shit, never wiped it off, never got up, proverbially, and never could get out of the gates, and then the PS4 just took off with it with a better, simpler design. So I think this time it's not going to be about screaming about specs. It's just going to be, they're going to be so equal. And there's a lot of comparisons now. They're very close to equal, that I think we're going to see a good battle with the PS5 and the Scarlet, and that's going to be good for consumers. I think you're going to see games not perform shitly or less powerful like on the Xbox console, and the PS4 run it better. I think they're just going to come out and Microsoft, Sony are going to go at it about services and exclusives and things like that. So what do you think about the PS5? A lot of buzzwords, a lot of technology. What about the things I pointed out about the SSD? Do you think that's going to affect anything? Think I'm just reading into it? I like to pick out small things like that, but the use of the terminology that Sony had about the SSD makes me think that Sony's going to use a lot more tricks in their SSD, maybe than Microsoft, or maybe Microsoft's going to do the same thing. How's it going to affect how games are installed? Let me know what you think in the comments below. I do appreciate everybody watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. PKO Gamer.